more than 90% here are Jews, especially Orthodox also. They live here. Why it's holy? The Jews wrote 2 Talmuds. They have the Babylonian Talmud that was written in Babel, according to the Old Testament, when the first temple was destroyed. They have been taken by Nebuchadnezzar to Babel. And we have the Jerusalem Talmud, which is written by Judah Hanassi in the 2nd century. What happened here, that the Jerusalem Talmud actually started in Jerusalem, but during the Great Revolt in 132, they kicked out from Jerusalem. Okay? And we call them the Sanhedrin. There is a book called On the Footsteps of Sanhedrians, how they moved from Jerusalem, Yavne, Ush, up till they end up in Tiberia, where wrote the Jerusalem Talmud. Tiberia, they have also one of the prophets, not prophets, the high rabbi for them, okay? He is buried in Tiberia. The city, sorry, did anyone ask? The city now, the holiday atmosphere can be seen in this city, especially it's a Orthodox city now. People who stayed here, mostly they are, let's say, workers who like to work in this area, because they have a good income for this city. Mostly hotels stayed here. You can see a lot of hotels because groups like also to stay in Tiberia around the Sea of Galilee. As well, this area destroyed several times. During the Ottoman period, there is a person called Zahir al-Oman. He's the Ottoman governor who runs the Upper Galilee, the Lower Galilee, sorry. He started to build Tiberia one more time. That's why we could see a mosque here, which used to be functioning during the Ottoman era. When the Israeli state established 1948, these people fled from here and ran, and Israel started to expand Tiberia, and that's what you can see now all around you. Now it's a holiday, that's why you can see all the parkings are full. People like to swim in the Sea of Galilee, but there is a special shores around the Sea of Galilee which is allowed, because some places are not allowed since it's dangerous. We don't have sharks over there, but it's dangerous because we have windmill inside the sea. There is special shores. A lot of people sank in that sea.
Filet, how many filet?
What kind of filet?
St. Peter, the same.
The same.
1, 2 filet, 3 filet. 4. Chicken breast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you.
We're about to eat lunch.
What do we have here?
We have choices, either fish or chicken. This is the restaurant that we're now eating lunch.
Yes, of
With
course.
carrots. I love the beets.
The 7 Springs. You remember in the
Seven
morning when we
Springs.
started the tour, we were at Mount Beatitude. We saw 2 fishes and 5 loaves, okay? And we didn't know, I told you in the beginning, because the church didn't know exactly where the location of the multiplication to multiply, where Jesus multiplied the fishes and the loaves to feed the 5,000 people and more, okay? The first church was actually here. We found a Byzantine church, time of the 4th century, where the early Christians came here and commemorated the miracle that happened in this area. The church was destroyed by the Persians in 614. Later on, in 749, a big earthquake hit it and shocked the land. Okay? And all the area in the Jordan Valley and the west part of the Sea of Galilee destroyed by this earthquake. So the ruins of the Byzantine church was buried under the rubble. That's why when the Crusaders came here, they didn't succeed to find any ruins which goes back to the Byzantine church. the church called the Hip Cathedrals. So there were here 7 springs in this area. As well, there is another name, we call it the Church of Multiplication. Multiply. Okay? One thing I told you about is the ancient olive press. That's the first process over there. And here the second process. After I finish about the olive press, I'm going to talk more about the church. But I need you to come and follow me. You could handle the sun couple of things. And the olive itself? Yeah. The best time to harvest the olive. This is the time of it. But the farmers, even in those days, in the back days, they used to wait after the first rain. How they used to do it, he carried the stick after the rain, so the rain will clean it from the dust and hit the tree, and all of it will fall down. He takes the green. If you want the black, you should wait a couple of days, couple of weeks, till it's become black, and then he harvests it. Why after the first rain? Because you have to understand, first of all, cleaning it, and the seed itself has an oil more than the olive. So what they used to do, they collect the olives, they bring it here. Okay. They put a beam here, charge it with the donkey, and the donkey will go around to smash the olive. That's the first process, smashing the olive. Okay? The second process, they collect these olives and put it in a basket. Okay? And they put one bar here above the other. One here, above, and then they put a huge scale on top of it. And also a beam inside it, so they start to squeeze it from both sides. The olive oil comes through this cistern and this aqueduct, and they collect it from here. That's what they call it, extra virgin oil. And that's the most expensive oil that you can get. Very dark green. Even source a little bit, but this is the best olive oil. That you have to know that the people didn't use the olive oil for drinking or eating. Just a couple of hundred years they start using it to eat it. At that time they used to send the first process from this olive oil to the temple, to the high priest, to announce it to the people. And the second process, where they go out to light the candle. That's what they use it for. Okay? Now in these days, that's why. In a couple of days, 1 week, 2 more, they are waiting for the rain. You will see that the people start to collect the olives and to sell the olive oil in a gallon, which is very expensive. At least $200 per gallon. It's expensive. The best olive oil that you can get from the land, either from Bethlehem, Belgium, or from here around the Sea of Galilee, and also in Italy we have a good olive oil, and in Greece as well. Spain, around Spain, I think they said also they have a good olive oil.
You said Morocco.
Morocco, yes, Morocco there. Good. The church that was built in 1940, when by coincidence they found the ruins of the Byzantine church. Once you get inside the church, which is the first part, the second room over there, in the basilica itself, you find the mosaics on the floor. The mosaic on the floor describes replica from the original. The original one will be all the way till the end in a room which is closed, which dates back to the Byzantine time. Once you see on the floor, you're going to find 4 mules and 2 fishes. Is it the one who designed it and made a mistake? No. He knows exactly, there were 5. Some people said it was in the hand of Jesus. Some people said Jesus himself, he was a mule number 5. And I myself, I'll tell you, we are number 5. We should multiply and teach our kids what Jesus told us. That's what we mean multiplication. Okay? When you go inside the church, you are going to see a lot of mosaics on the floor, and one of these mosaics will be the scale that they use to measure the level of the Nile. Kilometer they call it. That's they used to measure the Nile River, how high and what is low. Okay? And they used to put it in the floor. Besides, we have a lot of animals which used to describe Jesus. They said the fish was a symbol in the beginning for Christians, because the name of the fish, that was the secret between the early Christians. When you are carrying the name of the fish, it has a shape like a fish, and it's written in Greek, Jesus Christ, the Son of the Living God. If you take each letter from the fish in Greek, that's the meaning, Jesus Christ of Jesus Christ, the Son of the Living God. We have another animal which used to describe also Jesus, the goat. Okay, and also there, lamb. What else? Peacock.
Peacock. Oh, I didn't know that.
That is a peacock.
Peacock.
The flash of the bug stays under the rubble for 3 days, nothing happens to it.
Oh.
The peacock, in the past, they used to use it. To use the blood for the peacock straight at the main entrance of the gates to prevent demons going in. And when Jesus died on the cross, his blood goes over the demons to prevent us, to give us from the original sin. The peacock, when he killed the snake, he killed the snake in a very aggressive way. Jesus, when he killed the snake, which represents the devil, he killed it in very aggressive. That's why one of the animals, like this one, all of you, represent Jesus in a different way. Guys, when you go inside, by the way, who came here before 2014, or 2015 actually, this church was burned. Totally was burned. But luckily the fire stood and did not burn the inner part. The Orthodox Jews came here and burned this church. Luckily the church went back and was run by the German Republic, okay? We call it the Carmelite, not the Carmelite, the Benedictine order. They built this church, and there was a fish of pool inside, pool of fish. Inside you could see several kinds of fish to commemorate them. When you go inside the church all the way to the end, you will find the rock where this is the place where Jesus made the miracle. Guys, it's 2:20, 25 minutes. From here we are going to visit them to the left to the west. All the way to the end, when you walk all the way to the end between the olive trees and the palm trees, the chapel or the church is over there to the left. Okay? The church. Church.
We have to walk over there?
Church, we actually, we as a Christian, we bring the church.
Too many churches.
When it's off, you don't hear me. This is also one of the rules that you should know.
I heard you, but
We as a Christian, there's a person called Jesus came to the Christians. Let me tell you the whole story. Don't shout, wait.
We actually can do all
After the multiplication, they multiply.
You mean
laugh, you are the reason.
me?
Yes.
I am quiet.
Now, because you disparate all what you have in between the people.
I am such a good motivator.
Always, guys, the group, when are not satisfied of something, they write complaint. My first time, I'm going to write complaint for the group.
I will call my lawyer. How much money do you have?
No, take her with you.
I am the apple of your eye. And you are the apple of my eye.
One person.
In the bathroom. Oh my God. You mean we have...
We are going to divide the periods according to first temple mentioned in the Old Testament, 586 BCE, destroyed by Babylonian, as mentioned in the Bible. Okay, the Jews were taken from there to Mesopotamia, to Babel, okay, and stayed over there about 50 years. 532, they came back to the land after they have an agreement with Cyrus II. He was the king of Babel, and he gave them the permission to come back to the land. There was a temple over there built by King Solomon in the first time and destroyed. So they went back again to build the second temple. The second temple began to be built during Zerubbabel. Okay? He was the person who helped them to try to build the second temple, and it wasn't that big. When Herod the Great became the most powerful person, he expanded the temple and he made it larger. That temple was destroyed in 70 AD. 70 AD was a revolt started in Caesarea Maritima, okay? Like a wave, all the Romans came to destroy all the places for the Jews. Those who were arrested, those who were killed, those who succeed to fled to Jerusalem, to any place, they fled, but the Romans followed them, okay? So here one of the places were destroyed during the second temple period. 70 AD. And that was the prophecy of Jesus according to book of Luke 19 verse 41, that Jerusalem is going to be destroyed. We're going to see that church where Jesus made his prophecy to be at the steps of Mount of Olives. People fled as far as they go. None of this area stayed as it is. Part of it probably also destroyed, continued by the earthquake. The early Christians, when they came here, the place called Magdala, Migdal, and also where originally Mary Magdalene, where she came from. She came from this area. As we can see, when you find a small synagogue, an octagonal synagogue in this area, it will give you a hint that few people lived in this area. Otherwise, it would be a huge and a big synagogue. One of the 7 synagogues that goes back to the Second Temple period was uncovered in this area. But the early Christians, when they came here, they didn't find the ruins of the synagogue because it was buried under the rubble. What they have done, they built another Magdala. Can you see the flag of Israel?
Yeah.
And can you see also the White House? Over there, next to it, the Byzantine Magdala. Where they built the basilica and the church, where they used to pray. Over there it was not here. If they found this there, they would have known that they changed this synagogue into a church. Why? Because Jesus prayed here inside the synagogue. From here, this far to walk toward the Capernaum and the rest of the cities, okay? And 90% in between the mountain. And that was the branch road between the mountain where he came from Nazareth to here. On these days, if you want to go and walk from here to there, it takes you at least 1 day or 2 days. You need to rest. Let's say 1 day. In that time, when they used to travel from one place to another, they need to walk only during the day and rest in the evening, in the night. So early Christians, early pilgrims used also to come from here to there. Okay? What they used to do, they carry with them their currencies. That's why on that road, what we call the Valley of Dove, they found a lot of currency dated back to the 1st century, which we are talking about something antique. You saw the currency in the souvenir shop?
Right.
Did anyone see it?
Yes.
It's priceless because it's like something you buy it and the price stays as it is. When you sell it, even you might sell it more expensive than you buy it. That's a lot of people does, even as a gift or if they want to sell it. What they found here is still, this one, supposed to be inside the temple. Okay? It's supposed to be inside the temple. And over there where they used to put this stone, they used to put the Bible, the Torah on it, to read it. Okay? Usually guys, if you read something, and you know, there's something written here, this synagogue goes back to the 4th century. Okay? How come it's Franciscan? How come we call it CE?
I have no idea.
It's supposed to be earlier than CE. CE, we as a Catholics, and since it's run by the Catholic Church, okay, why they should write CE? CE, we as a Christian, we don't use it. We use AD, Anno Domini.
Yeah.
It's only used by the Israeli people. It was a cooperation between the Israeli government, okay, antiquities, and the Franciscan Church to do the reconstruction in this place. That's why they put CE. If a Jewish person comes to you and say, okay, you're talking BCE or CE, tell him, yeah, we are talking BCE and CE, before Christ's era and the Christ era. We can use the same term. Interesting.
So
Okay?
CE is Christ.
What is oh, so you are a Jew, you are CE. Yeah, no, we are Christians, but CE, it's a Christian era. Of course, in the synagogues, they need to see something always. During the 2nd century, what we call it mikveh, a ritual bath, which means they used to find a running water to purify themselves before they go to pray. And the running water will be the Sea of Galilee. They use the Sea of Galilee as a running water. It's not a pool stuck with 4 porticos. It's a rain. Goes and continue to the Dead Sea. So we are talking about a running water. The Jewish, during that time, they used to do it and to enter to the sea naked. Up to these days, we have places in Ain Karim, section for women and section for men, to be purified before they go to pray. But of course, it's a closed area, and I will give you the date for the women later on.
True blood.
The area here is supposed to be the market area or the road for the market area, but also we are talking even about the poor country, the poor town. We're talking they need something to buy and to sell and to do to live. Plus the harvesting, plus the fishermen. There used to be a fisherman, most of them here. That's why when they built the church, at the end of this road, all the way to the end, you're gonna see the church, and inside the church, the shape of the altar has a shape like a sheep. And when you go inside, you are going to see a lot of chapels and all the 12 apostles with an icons on the wall around that area. It's a modern church and a new church and very unique. Okay, you can go all the way walking and you can see the signs what tells you what they found here, like an ancient press, an ancient storage, and ancient water source. Okay, the only thing was missing the drinking water. In that time they used to drink water from the Sea of Galilee, but in these days they stopped that for several reasons. Okay, you want to go over there, you can do it. Okay guys, go up till 11:92. What's happened here, Muslims had a treaty, you remember when talking the Church of Nativity, with the Orthodox. So there were no Catholics at that time. They gave this church to the Greek Orthodox to take care of it. Until they moved to the church in 1677. Where is the ancient well located inside the church, which is we are about 10 minutes walking from here to the house of Virgin Mary. Father tells us the well.
Tell your wife.
Online, they book everything. And she said, I got tired. Of course, looking to the iPhone all the time, getting tired. She needs a new dry machine, a new washing machine. She said, I got tired. But you're counting these legs, you don't do anything else. So, what's happened over here? The church runs by. The moment you go inside the church, you have to know exactly what's going on. Inside the church, what's the difference between the Orthodox and the Catholic Church? The Catholic Church, you're supposed to see the 14 stations, the station of the cross. You can see a statue for Jesus, Virgin Mary, John the Baptist, and all the saints. In the Greek Orthodox, they don't believe in statues. They believe in icons. That's why when you go inside the church, you're going to see we call it iconostase. Okay, the altar also hidden. You can't see it. Only the priest who goes inside the altar to give you the communion. The Catholic Church, the altar can be seen clearly. The church in the Catholics, we can see columns dividing the church into aisles. Here, no. We have an open area. Only the background will be the iconostasis. Okay. The monk will come here in a couple of minutes to open the church for us and to see the tube that is connected with the well. And some people will fill the bottle from that water. It's also good for drinking if you want to drink it. But some people, when they fill it, they take it back home as a blessing from the saint. Okay, folks? What else? Oh, this is a song that he did his pilgrimage to the Holy Land, and they used to the date as well. But now when you come and you want to the Holy Land to buy a gift or something to you, you buy the Jerusalem cross. Why we call it Jerusalem cross? Either Jerusalem divided into 4 quarters. Okay? Jerusalem divided into 4 quarters. We have Jerusalem and the 4 quarters. Or we can say it's Jesus and the 4 apostles and the 4 gospels. Or we could say the 5 wounded of Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the big one is the stabbing from the Quran. So, this is yours. Sometimes you will find it when you open it, it comes like the wall of the city. In Jerusalem, yes, like this one. Like this one, when you open it, it becomes like the shape of the wall of Jerusalem. So most of the pilgrims who used to come here, they used to buy this cross as a symbol that they did their pilgrimage in the Holy Land. Sorry, it wasn't a time enough to speak about the Jerusalem cross and to tell you the story behind it, because I know the man who was explaining about everything. But hopefully, if you want, we are going back again after tomorrow to that person, if you want, because he was going to give us the cross that you are going to use it. If you want to get the Jerusalem cross, you have another opportunity over there, which is going to be after tomorrow. Since in Jerusalem, we don't have, on Jerusalem, when we leave after tomorrow, and the day after it, we have plenty of time to do everything. Here we were stuck a little bit about timing to go from one place to another. Over there we have a nice, easy program for all of us. Let me see if he's the father.
We can do it.
طارق اشرح خليني بس اخلص الشغل ارجع.
This is Mary's well. We're about to come in and see it. And he had explained the history about this well. And Mary's house, according to him, is 5 minutes away from here. Okay. Everybody's getting the water from Mary's well.
Yeah, you want to get up there?
Yeah, yeah.
That works.
This is the Mary'sville Church. This is the town.
So Matthew,
This is the town of Turan, and we are on the way to.
what was each one of them his symbol? Matthew,
There are.
what is the sign? What is the symbol for Matthew? Baby, the genealogy. Okay. For whom it was written? Book of Matthew. To whom it was written? For the Jews. Book of Mark has the symbol of the lion. To whom it was written? Romans represent power. Luke has the symbol of bull. To whom it was written? No, to the Greek. And it represents the sacrificial. That's why when we read about St. John the Baptist, how he was born, the details about it, we go to the book of Luke and book of John, eagle, and it was written for Gentiles. If you remember these things, that will be good. It will stuck in your memory so you could teach it to your kids in the future, or if anything comes to your mind, you will be able to see it. And also we could see that, have anyone been in Spain before?
Me.
Have you been in Barcelona?
Yes.
Did you succeed to enter to the Sagrada de Familia?
Yes.
I went there as well. If you have picture from there, I do have, you will be able to see also the 4 Gospels with each one of them his symbol. So that's not only here you see it. In each place, when you have like a cathedral like that, like a big church, you will find.
What is that bell? This morning we will visit Caesarea Philippi, the location at the testimony of St. Peter, where Jesus answered to him with, "You are my rock, and upon this rock I will build my church."
Avocado.
This is the
Mango, brown
agricultural
leaves.
part of the town.
And here in front of us we have the Sea of Galilee.
And there's the Sea of Galilee.
Or what we call it as the Christians is the Sea of Jesus, because the name of that lake changed due to several periods according to the biggest town around it. They gave the name of the lake. Some people they call it the Sea of Tiberias. Some people used to call it in the past Sea of Capernaum. And the Hebrew term they call it Kinneret because it has a shape like a harp of King David. Kinor. We as the Christians we prefer to call it the Sea of Galilee or the Sea of Jesus. In 1939, so they assumed, since they didn't find any ruins for the Byzantine church around this area till when actually this church was built, they said, okay, since the two events happened next to each other, they said, okay, here the miracle where it happened, the 2 fishes and the 5 loaves, which we call the multiplication. Later on, they found the original church where it pointed where the miracle happened, and they left this one as it is here. Okay? You can read the 80 blessings, and let's go in front of the church. There's someone waiting for you to read the explanation of the place.
So this is not the original.
No, I didn't say that. I was telling about the multiplication. So do not get confused with what I'm saying. Why you didn't hear me for two reasons. Your whispers is
Like me.
we are in front of the church of multiplication. Long time you didn't see each other. You are taking pictures now. But hey, she's the one who sleeps beside you. She's your wife.
This is twice married. And I've had no children.
We are standing in front of the church of Beatitude, okay, where it's mentioned in the book of Matthew chapter 5, where the 8 blessings. What's happened here, we have to go to the time of Jesus in the 1st century. Around this area, the people who lived here was the poor people. When we say people from Galilee or Galilean, we are not talking about middle class or poor people. They were farmers, working in fishing. Important things. These people are, most of them, Jews who lived around the west part of the Sea of Galilee, because the east part of the Sea of Galilee runs by the Gentiles. Because they are familiar with someone called Jesus is going to come. So when they heard that this person is around this area, they were so excited to come and follow him. So the sick people, the blind people, the paralyzed people, all of these people followed that man. Okay? Had a faith on him. When they came here, he mentioned the 8 blessings according to the book of Matthew. Bless the poor, bless the blind, bless those, bless. This is equivalent to what Moses received on Mount Sinai. Okay? Mount Sinai, Moses received the 10 Commandments. Okay? Here, fulfilling the prophecy in the New Testament, equivalent to the 8 Commandments that mentioned on Mount Sinai. So this is, we call it the Christian Sinai here, the Christian mountain that Jesus mentioned all the 8 blessings. When you go inside the church, guys, it is divided by an octagonal shape. Okay, from each corner, from each side, we have one of the blessings. Inside the church, it's not allowed to take pictures with a flash only. The church built by Antonio Barruzzi from basalt, or what we call it volcanic rock, as you see. When you get inside the church, you're going to see 2 rooms in each one by a glass.
And the
Okay? Inside it, there are the rock of the 2 popes who came here. They came here, they had a mass, and they donated to this rock to the church. The unique thing about this place, rarely that we can get a mass inside the chapel because it's small. Our masses, we take it outside in the altars, in the open altars. But the unique thing about these altars doesn't have numbers. It has names, and the names after the apostles. Okay? So when they tell you you have a mass here, they will tell you Chapel of Luke, Chapel of Matthew. That's how the altar goes.
Enak ha?
Kasi mother tayo.
The other church, what we call it the Church of Multiplication. The old name for that church or the area called Tabra. Tabra. This is part of the Tabra, by the way. The name of this area also used to be part of the Tabra. Up till Jesus came here and appeared for his disciples after his resurrection according to the book of John 21. We have to go backwards a little bit to the place that we did not see today, and I managed to skip it, which called Caesarea Philippi. According to the Bible, Jesus asked Peter over there. What was the answer of St. Peter? You are the Messiah. You are the Son of the living God. And what God told him? You are the rock, and on that rock I'm going to build my church. That was before the crucifixion. Okay? But what happened during the crucifixion? St. Peter denied Jesus. Okay?
3 times.
Had a feeling that that blessing was taken from him. He didn't even deny him. He has a feeling that he betrayed him as well. Okay? Judas betrayed Jesus and killed himself, but St. Peter, he knew from Jesus that he is going to deny him. And he told him, you're going to deny me twice before.
Before the cock roast.
Excuse me.
Before the rooster crows. Before the crows twice. Jesus died on the cross, resurrected, and St. Peter still had the feeling for what he had done. Up till Jesus appeared for him around the Sea of Galilee. Up till he appeared for him here. Okay? He saw him. He didn't recognize him in the beginning. Jesus cooked for him, and we have the rock, which we call Mensa Christi. That's why this church has another name, Mensa Christi, which means the Lord's table, and we call it St. Peter Primacy. The chapel that's built here by the Franciscans, not by Antonio Barrusi, also in 1939, on top of the place where Jesus cooked for his disciples. Jesus appeared for him and asked him, do you love me? He said, what was the answer?
Yes.
In that language, thank you. In that language, he said agape.
Oh, agape.
He means you know that I love you, and I did a mistake. He asked him one more time, do you love me? He said agape.
Agape.
The last time
That's
he
what is
asked
agape
him,
church.
do you love me? He told him, take care of my sheep. Which means I still give you the blessing that I gave you, even if you denied me, but I know you did a mistake, and now I forgive you for your mistake. That's why each pope who came to the once he comes to the Holy Land, it's a must to come here for him. This is renewing the oath or the promise between the Pope and God to take care of the people that he's controlling or that he is blessing. Okay? So this area has several chapels, altar part, since the main one is small, people can't do a prayer inside, can't do a service inside that chapel, they have altars outside. We have a statue of St. Peter and Jesus. We have also an access down the stairs to see the level of the sea. In that time, 1964, the first Pope came here. Okay, the Pope, after the declaration of the State of Israel, is Paul IV. And here we have a picture for all the popes, from the time of St. Peter till the last one. So any Pope who comes to the land, it's a must for him to come to this place. If you want to see the level of the water, if you touch the water, you can. But please, if your feet touch the water, try to clean it before you go to this. It's 9:30. Where's the exercise? 5 minutes.
How many?
25.
At the right side.
Yeah, I'm good.
Cheers!
Oh no, I'm not taking a picture. I'm sorry. I'm about
feel
to
jealous.
record you.
Here, my love.
Oh, it's okay. Where's Henny?
Guys, over there, Phil, it's okay
Oh.
if you sit over there, it's better, because if a group comes over there, you... Yeah.
It's okay. I'm recording you for my husband.
First of all, I need you... Thank you, sir. Do your hand like this, and make it like this. You do your hand like this, open it, 3 fingers, and this is your hand like this. Guys, we have to understand what's going on. People can see from the back. We have to understand what's going on. The Via Maris, the way of the sea, it starts from here, from Egypt, okay, in the south, all the way along the coastal plain, the way of the sea, and it takes eventually from a place called Megiddo through the Jezreel Valley, from the west to the east, up till reached here, the Sea of Galilee. Okay, it's split into three roads: north, northeast around the Sea of Galilee, and east from the southern part of the Sea of Galilee. So Capernaum is located here. If you look to the map of the Sea of Galilee, you will be able to see that Capernaum located on northwest of the Sea of Galilee. Okay, thank you. The thing is, this town located on the Via Maris. We know from the Bible that Jesus, when he came here, he met Matthew, and Matthew was a tax collector. Where do you pay tax? When you move from one country to another. Okay? So Matthew was at the main entrance of Capernaum as a tax collector, sitting here. How come there is a border between Herod the Great? We said that the land divided between his three sons.
That's right.
Between Agrippa, here, and from here to the north was, from this area, was, and Archelaus was in Jerusalem. So when you move from one territory to another territory, you have to pay tax. Okay? Jesus moved from, because Herod Agrippa, he's the one who judged John the Baptist, and he was the one who cut his head. We have to understand that also part of Jordan was under his hand. So when they divided the land between the three sons, they divided equally. Each one, his border will be. The moment you reach here, you are going from Herod Agrippa territory into Herod Philip. Jesus made a lot of miracles in this place. This was an active town in that time. Why? Because a lot of the people who used to come from Mesopotamia, they have to stay here for a couple of days probably before they continue their journey towards Egypt. That's why it's more logic to be the village of comfort for those who used to sell goods and to travel from one place to another. That's the most important thing we should know. Jesus even cursed this place. Why? Because he did a lot of miracles and they didn't believe in him as a Messiah. We have to know exactly when Jesus said on Mount Beatitude, lost those who believed in me and they didn't see me, he didn't mean us also. He meant the people who were in Mesopotamia living and hearing about the story of Jesus, okay? And they couldn't come to see him and they believed in him. Did you get the idea, guys, what's going on here?
Yes.
In this area?
Yes.
This was the place where you want to spread the news, okay? And to spread your teaching to the Egypt. And there you can come here. Because who's going to pass by here, he will tell those in Egypt, oh, we saw something. We saw something happen. We saw a miracle. And also those over there. Like today, when you go to America, let's go to New York. First, anything you did it in New York, all the entire state will know about it. That's where you spread your news. That's where you sell your goods. That's where Jesus spread his ministry to all over the world. That's you're using a center place to spread your teaching, and the rest of people will see it. Like Holy Land now, it's a center of pilgrimage. When you come to the Holy Land, you say, oh, we were with this Glimmer tour. You can go. Now you are spreading. Glimmer will not tell the people. Those who will tell who had the experience. And that's what happened with Jesus. Those who will tell, those who saw Jesus and faced him. But, or sorry, not all the people believed in him as a Messiah. Jesus came here. He stayed in the house of St. Peter. What we call it Domus Ecclesia, which means a church house. They used to pray here secretly. And they remember the teaching of Jesus during the Roman time. Because it's not allowed to spread the teaching of Jesus. It's not allowed to believe in the Messiah because he did not come yet, according to the Jews. And the Romans would take the order from the Jews if they want to do anything. That's why the Jews couldn't crucify Jesus. They sent him to Herod the Great, and they sent him to Pontius Pilate, the Roman, and he was the one who judged, who crucified him. They just take the order, but they don't do it. Because according to the Jewish law, here we don't have a death penalty. Underneath that house, we can see the house of St. Peter, or his mother-in-law. It has an insula building, which we call it. When you live here, your son around you, your grandson around you. That's how they protect each other. The church built on top of the house of St. Peter and has a shape like a ship. Okay, because here also people were fishermen. Okay, and you could see the house of St. Peter from different orientation. Even though they made the floor made from glass, to give you a hint how high was the roof and how they pulled also the paralyzed man from the roof to Jesus to heal him. So Jesus cursed 3 towns. What was it? Capernaum, Bethsaida, and Chorazin. These are the 3 villages that Jesus did a miracle around them and he cursed them. Up till these days, we don't have people lives in this area. Only monks who take care of this place. What you see on the back, this is the synagogue where Jesus used to pray. Next to a synagogue, there's something called Beit Midrash, or teaching school. Like these days, on Sunday, you go, there is the Bible inside the church, but you go to another place, which is next to the church, to explain and understand what you read from the Bible. And that time also the same. People finished reading from the Bible inside the synagogue, they go to the next room to translate what they have, what's written on it, and to remember with them, to remind them what's going on. But the stone we see on the back, this is a limestone. Okay, usually it's supposed to be basalt. If you look underneath this one, we could see the synagogue from the 1st century. But that one was destroyed and they built another synagogue on top of it from limestone, goes back to the 4th century. So we have the ancient one underneath this one and the modern one that we see now in front of us. And in between the house and the synagogue, there is the houses of the fishermen. When you go to the synagogue, you're going to be able to see a church from that side. It has 12 domes. We call it the Church of the Apostles. It runs by the Greek Orthodox. Since the land divided between the Catholic and the Greek Orthodox, they said that also part of Capernaum for the Orthodox, they prefer to go there. Also they come here, but they prefer to go there to see that church, or they call it the Church of the Apostles. You look at 12 pink domes. Who was the brother of St. Peter?
Andrew.
Andrew. Do you know what has Andrew to do with Scotland? The King of Scotland asked God to give him a sign to go and defeat his enemies. He was sitting on his balcony. He saw a cloud has an X shape with a blue background. He took it and he went to the battle and he won the battle. So when he asked what does this cloud mean, they told him that's how St. Andrew crucified. Okay? So that's why they bring the idea of the flag of Scotland, X with a blue background, and they declare Andrew as a saint for the Scottish people. They found here a mine for lime. Can you see that stone? You see the shape? This one, can you see it?
Yes.
This is the olive press. We're going to see an ancient one in the Church of Multiplication after lunch. Okay? Over there, one which goes back to the 1st century, how they used to harvest olives and press it. We're going to talk about the process of the olives over there. The church usually occupied due to a masses. Of course, we do have St. Peter statue over there, carrying a stick and a fish underneath his leg. If you like, by the end of the tour, to have a group picture over there, you could do that. Next to it, we have a place leads us to outer chapel next to the sea. And if you succeed now, I think the church is closed or open. No, it's open. The mass was finished. So the first thing you could do, guys, before you see the site and you go around, you go to see the church and to see the house of St. Peter from different orientation. Then you go around this area to take pictures, and we end up on the bus. You can use the washrooms on the bus, and we have 40 minutes. Good?
Wow.
I think it's enough. It's a big site. I think 40 minutes will be enough.
This is the Church of St. Peter, Capernaum. So many people visiting this area.
This is the wooden boat that we are about to ride, and
ship on the water of Galilee. We're about to travel the Sea of Galilee in a wooden boat, which there's display at the museum here. We're so blessed to have this.
Okay, folks, here we are. We're gonna put the American national rhythm. Turn around. Full. You will be the person, the leader, the captain.
Of Galilee, the Sea of Miracles.
Thank you. Bravo, bravo.
Are we not gonna sing?
We are.
Wait lang.
Wait long.
Say, can you see by the dawn early light what so proudly we hailed, and the twilight that's gleaming, old stars and bright stars, through the perilous fight, and the moment we was, and the very birds screaming, but the rocket red glare, bombs bursting in air, gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the stars say, and earth it wave. Land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Okay. Guys, we are on the Sea of Galilee. We are sailing on a wooden boat. We talked in the morning about the major source of the Sea of Galilee, which is the Jordan River, which fed the sea from the north and exit from the south. So Israel put a border or put a dam in the southern part of the sea so they could take advantage from this water. Now we are not using it for anything, or maybe part of it we use it for agriculture, not for drinking like we used before. Jesus came here, he did a lot of miracles on the Sea of Galilee and around the Sea of Galilee as well. He walked on the Sea of Galilee, okay? That's why we start to call it, after the coming of Jesus, the sea. He made St. Peter walk on the sea. He calmed down the wind. He asked from the fishermen, do not throw your tent here, you throw it to the other side where they could catch fish, okay? It's important for us, the spreading of teaching of Jesus on the Sea of Galilee, where he spread his ministry. What we see in front of us over there, that's the Golan Heights. Approximately the Golan Heights, the same size of the Sea of Galilee. We have 12 kilometers from east to west and 21 kilometers from north to south. And it's about 218 meters below sea level, below the Mediterranean Sea. That's why all the time it's dry here. When it's rain, it's very good for us that we take advantage from this water that we collected in this area. We have to remember, guys, what's going on and what happened and why Jesus came here. The people who lived in this area, they told you, they were poor Jewish people. So he came to this nation and he knows that most of the people that lives here, they will believe in him. They are waiting for him. They tell him now the prophecy was fulfilled. Okay, the deepest point, by the way, in the Sea of Galilee, it's about 40 meters, 44 meters. It's not that deep. And the city around you over there, that's Tiberia, where we are going to have our lunch, Tiberius, built by Herod the Great. Okay, where we're going to have our lunch. Around the Sea of Galilee, northwest, we have Mount Beatitude. Over there, we have Capernaum, We have Tabha, primacy, and we have the other Tabha, which we call it the Church of Heptagon, or the multiplication. In the war of 1967, what happened? Israel took the northeast of the land and the Golan Heights and the Mount Sinai. In 1973, the Syrians start to come to the land to catch the Golan Heights, to return it back. Since before 1967, the border between us and the Syrians from the east part of the Sea of Galilee, it's only 30 feet, 10 meters, not much. Why Israel insists to take the Golan Heights? For several reasons. If you cut the water source that comes from the northern part of the Sea of Galilee, on the Sea of Galilee, that means you are telling the people we are going to surrender, and it's a matter of time. In 1973, when the Egyptian came and took Sinai back, okay, the Israeli was very important for them, not the desert here. So they sent the tanks and everything to protect that area. Otherwise, if it had been taken by the Syrian, it would be a big problem. Now we're gonna put some songs for you. I want you to enjoy the time in the Sea of Galilee. Okay? After the songs, I prefer to take a group picture for all of you in this area. You want to have songs, you could dance, do whatever you have to do, and some people here can teach you the dancing. This is nice, gentlemen. Stay here, and the chairs you take it around, and the rest will sit here, because we are going to use this hall for dancing.
Is this
okay, Vox?
Yes.
Enjoy your time.
Is this disco? Disco rock?
I'll make you a deal, sir. If you catch a big fish, it's yours. But if I catch a mermaid, it's mine. And believe me, I'm trying for a long time.
Thank you. Dito na. Baka
This lake has 16 types of fish. It's very blessed. If you come in the morning, you cannot see the water. So many fish. Yes. Now it's hard because it's hot, so they go down. But sometimes we are very lucky. Okay, be careful, sir. A little bit. Yes. Okay. One,
2, 3. Whoa! Now, how long does it stay there?
The net is opening like that, and when it's closed down, when the rope is finished, it closed. Because of the lead, it's closing.
With the fish? Or
if there is fish here, there is no luck for the fish.
Oh, I see.
Poor fish.
So do you throw back the small fish? Do you throw it back?
Small fish we throw back.
Okay.
This then one food you have to throw back.
No shots.
Oh, it's not the steaks though.
We do have we have carp, sand-feeder fish, sardine.
Wow!
Mullet.
Oh, I love sardines with alukbati.
We have forel on the other side, on the river going into the Kinneret. We have the forel. It's very similar to the salmon. No, this side, no luck. We do what Jesus said. We cast on the other side.
Ah! Somebody jinx it.
So if we catch now 152 fish, I'm gonna try to walk on the water also.
No tilapia.
Are you ready to count?
You should try in the morning.
Yeah, 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning. So many fish. Yeah.
Oh, really? Ready? Rob, ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoa! Come on, fish! Show up! Come on, fishy, fishy! We'd like to eat some fishy, fishy from the Galilee. Oh, that, well, do you leave it there for a while or just for a few minutes?
There's a fish now.
You're sleeping.
No fish.
One fish.
No, you cannot catch any fish now. It's too hot.
You're sleeping.
Sorry, friends.
Ah!
They eat hamburger, pizza, lasagna, but no fish.
$1. Yeah, and the other part was free. Okay, guys. And also
All
we
right.
have
How much commission do you
songs
get?
From the Sea of Galilee. It has Christian and Jewish symbols. They sell each one $8, 3 for 20. And the disc that has songs in Hebrew language, $15. And okay, guys, enjoy your time.